Hi, this is Shirish Kulkarni, founder and CEO of Stroth Consultech, driving this organization for last 5 years, focusing on business consulting, helping small and medium businesses to succeed, grow, moving forward. With this concept of Hatke, we are talking to various industry leaders, thought leaders, individuals who have brought some Hatke concept, differentiated concepts in Indian kind of context, and they have been successful leading from the front. And we have with us a great privilege to have with us Mr. Gaurav Maria, who is at the top and the helm of Franchisee India, who is called as Franchisee Guru, the person who has brought the concept of franchising in India, built up that empire of around 500 crores with 300 plus brands underneath, and driving that from the edge, sitting on the edge where any brand enters or anybody wants to go out across. So, Gaurav, great pleasure to have you on this platform.
Thank you, Vijay, and thank you, Mr. Kulkarni, to have me on the call and on the interview. So I'm very delighted. I've known you for many years, and I know your kind of work you do and the kind of passion you bring to your clients. So always delighted to be on this interview.
Wonderful. I think it takes us back, Gaurav, that time where we were talking about some new verticals in franchise. Firstly, before anything else, I would like to hear that story of how that young Gaurav got this passion of bringing franchising in India. So maybe some light on that if you can throw.
So my journey has always been little bit default, so and this is a Hatke program, so I will just give a little bit of a Hatke thing. I come from a small business background. My mindset is also very right for small businesses. I don't go beyond that. And I felt that as a small business, the biggest challenge I had was whenever I wanted to choose the right opportunity, I had no mediums available. I call this three ways people used to buy a business. Still, I mean, a lot of people still buy businesses like that, what I call reference through their friends. They call 3F story: friends, family, and fools. These three things, are the reference points for you. Either you follow your friends or you follow your family, or sometimes you follow some fools which you have not done right, but you just follow because of the looking at it. So, and I felt that if I can do some service to this large entrepreneurial community, and especially in India, because India, people don't get white collar jobs. Let's be honest. And 5 or 6 cities we create jobs. And India is a very large country. This country can only be built by creating entrepreneurs, and that's something which stayed with me. And this is still my journey. I don't know. In last 23 odd years, uh, I've never counted the top lines and bottom lines. My passion and my work, it revolves around helping other entrepreneurs in succeeding their goals and helping them to do that. And that's what our company has been doing and would continue to do for years to come.
Wonderful, wonderful. And sitting on the edge of how where the brands come in, or from any side, from wanted to set up their empire, and is some brands from India also being really aspirational to go outside. How does that feel? How is that sitting on the edge?
So I think it's always exciting, and I think every day something new is happening. And this was actually starting point for me. I wanted to buy every business I went across, and then I realized that I don't have money to buy every business. Then I started thinking that how can I be in part of all the businesses but not own them? So that's our journey of Franchise India really started, and I still do that. And we bring a lot of international brands to India. We try to bring a lot of domestic brands growing within India, and now we are encouraging this made in India brands to really go global. And
Wonderful.
that's my personal mission, that if I can build a couple of brands, I mean, you cannot take every brand to outside India, but a couple of brands which can actually become global brands from India. And there are phenomenal brands, and now Indians are very proud Indians, so we really like what we do. And there are many brands which are there, which I think can travel global, and we can really make a statement. We are also good at quality now, so everything is good for this country. So we need to really high time recognize our entrepreneurial capability in this country.
Wonderful, wonderful. And the way that the whole mechanism and the structure is set up, it's like, well-oiled machine end to end. You get a requirement or you get a brand in, and you have individuals who are working on various dimensions and clear-cut defined roles and responsibility. How did you get there? Uh, you know, uh,
I've been honestly, this all I take my client as my teacher. So every time they whatever problems they have in their businesses, they put in front to me, and they normally would have the answers also available, but they don't have capability to do it, and they would say, "Can Gaurav, you do this for me, or can your organization do this for me?" And I will create a solution around it. So I've been very reactive in that sense, in terms of whenever the problem is thrown on me and said, look, this is a problem, and I will come with some form of solution to it. And that became vertical, that became different companies, and now we are a fully integrated business. And but they all came from very clearly the problems I saw any client has put in on back to me, and as a firm, we were a thinking company, and we always thought that how can we create solutions around it, and that's how the businesses and verticals kept growing.
Wonderful. I see maybe a new addition of business services as well as work from home kind of a services. Are these new verticals that you've added recently?
So I think there's a huge change now happening in the world, and especially last 2-3 months where this whole COVID has changed. So I think we had all have a lot of changes. I would say that change happens at all three levels. One is products. So products would change for organizations, entrepreneurs. Products would change. Processes would change. Processes means the way you used to work and conduct businesses. Like I've seen you've been doing a lot of these webinars and a lot of these digital meetings. And we have to
Mhm.
live in the economy. And the third, I think the priorities of consumers would also change. So how do you really make these three big changes in your enterprise? And we are working very closely with all our clients to help them in terms of these three changes. And this would now, unlike it past, and you would know more than I, we have both been in part of the industry. Earlier industries used to change, and cycles were 4 years, 5 years,
Uh,
and cycles. Now it reduced to 2 years. Now I think it will reduce to 3 months. Every 3 months, companies have to find a way to change and adapt.
right, right, right. Now, when this lockdown happened, what was the first feeling in your mind? You looked at it as an opportunity. I see a smile on your face. But how did you look at it? And did franchisee India find themselves a different face or something like that?
Yeah, two things I did, and I think on the day of lockdown, which happened, so I clearly put two things on my diary and said, one, I call ECG, like you do body ECG. Sometimes businesses also need ECG.
Wow.
Was standing for engaging. How can I engage everybody? Second, how do I effectively and clearly communicate people, and what we stand for, what we want to do? And third, continue to do what we love, which means guiding people in their journey. So from that day, I've done about 100 webinars, and this
Wow.
ECG is my daily count. So I really do every day in the evening when I finish, I count my ECG and say how much I really contributed, how many people I engaged, how many people I communicated, how many people I guided. So these are three things which I do. Second part, which was very important, not for me personally, but because Franchise India has a responsibility of a lot of people around you. So we started working on what I call creating opportunities in adversity.
Mm.
What are the opportunities? Always, there is always opportunities out there. And this is my message through you to all the entrepreneurs out there. There is an opportunity. You need to really find what is an opportunity. Is it coming within some people don't even know how to creatively use there. So this is a time of what I call, again, three areas which I will leave broader thought process. One, it is a time where you need to have sharp strategy of what I call business continuity. Second,
Mm.
it's a time which needs a phenomenal amount of collaboration. You never collaborated. We need to collaborate more. We need to talk to more people and find out, oh, I have something and you have something. Can we meet these together and do something together for a larger purpose? So more collaborations have to happen, and we need to be open for collaborations across our groups. And now platforms give us that. And third is critical thinking. We need to really go and deeper into our thinking process of our businesses and find out where is the hidden unlock opportunity sitting in every business I know. even the airlines today, which doesn't have to not flying, or hospital, the hotels which are not opening, they also have to do critical thinking. Where is it? I'll give you an example. Marriott, I've been staying at Marriott for last 15 years, and all the entire thing. I'm a top member with them. But say, I always used to feel that in this, they had a great service, great product. Recently, for the members, they have started a online shop. So you can buy mattresses from them, you can buy blankets from them, you can buy so people who are living hotel life, they are giving all that. So because they have all that supplies available, and they're just sitting idle. So
Right.
even a company which is in absolute adversity has found an opportunity to do something about their business and so on. And I'm sure people would buy. They're selling amenities, the shampoos and all these things available in that thing that you can buy from a Marriott shop. So I feel that this is not about being sitting in your bunkers. This is about putting your creative thinking on, and then going and finding out what are the opportunities available.
Great, great. See, in Hatke, it is about H, where health is concerned. So, health of yourself, I believe that is what you are trying to say. Health of yourself and your business. So, with the ECG, the pulse of your business. A for attitude, T for technology, K for knowledge, and E for engagement. I think you covered most of it. But talking about technology in specific, I'm sure, and in fact, I was involved closely, the way that you set up even the internal platforms and platforms exposing to the world for end users to consume B2C, as well as business advisors to get it consumed for their collaboration within and outside. Uh, that's wonderful. So, is that something that you've taken to the next level now?
So I will be honest. Technology is no more an option. It has to have become a reality. We've been involved in technology from day one. The company, when I started in '99, a lot of people don't know. We started with a .com. So there's those days
Oh,
people didn't have understanding. Our portal was ready on 2nd June 1999. That's the time franchiseindia.com was promoted, and so now we have many platforms. But I would still say we have not done what we would have done. I mean, we were in between what I call the old world and new world, and now we have pushed to new world. So
mm,
now there is no other alternative, so we cannot go back to that old world. It's actually closed. So this is also another message. If you thinking that things would get normal to the old world, answer is no, they'll never get normal in that perspective. While everything else would get normal, whatever we consume would come back to that. But how we consume would change. And this would change forever. And I know it's difficult. And, like I run a print company, print magazines. I know it is difficult. It's a
mm,
hard fact. Any print company would know that people are not going to read this anymore. While still we will buy magazines here and there, but it's
yeah.
not going to be the same way uh, we used to have. Yeah.
So, yeah, basically, everybody and anybody has to question either himself or for the business, why am I existing, and can I do with my skill set something different, hutky or differentiated? I believe that's the message.
I like your Hatke thing. So I'll use it in some of the consulting pieces. Yeah.
Always, always.
Pay you royalty for that.
No, not an issue, not an issue.
That's what a collaborative environment should be, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, that's a great opportunity for taking this to the next level. Definitely. Now, coming to the aspect of how this something called as new normal is getting set. So there'll be new paradigm, new ways of doing work. So any perspective on that? How you look at the business for yourself or for the various verticals that you have? You have any opinion on that?
So I think one of the areas so there are many changes happening. If I talk about myself, and before I talk about myself, I will talk about a little bit about what is happening on entrepreneurs. And I feel that uh, this is for India. I think in a long term, there is a great opportunity, huge opportunity, and it has very strong fundamentals. And I think there is also a big wake up call which has happened with our administration, our prime minister's office. Everybody has got a big wake up call. As it might have come in, everybody really starts looking at things which were so dear to us when the adversity starts hitting you. So I think his office has also come back and talk about the Atmanirbhar and things of that nature, which means that how do we make country? And I think it's a great opportunity for Indian manufacturers, Indian suppliers, they should be ready for entire thing. So the first message I have for all the entrepreneurs, and including me, is that how do you really build your products or services for the world? So and that's something which we have also not done. We were the largest company in franchising in India for longest period. I mean, we had no competition rather than. We were the largest by size in the world, but we never took the business to the world. So I mean, we would have been in 50 countries back. So we have to really see if your product or a service company is there. So how do you create much wider distribution? That's something which is the one message. What I feel. Second message is that these are short term. I think we need to balance it with sustainability and continue to paddle the growth. So a lot of people are just, when they think starts only sustainability, then they start declining, right? So you need to paddle the growth also. So we don't have to be really sitting back, and we have to push ourselves to get the next level of growth. Maybe small growth functions, but there has to be a growth. So these are two areas which we are working on as a company. We don't want to really. So at this stage, we would look at globalization as a very key
as an
principle.
initiative. Okay, I think you said it very aptly, that balance between the growth and complacency or adequacy, or really not letting that kind of complacency set in, to keep that delta growth that is required every quarter or every month, that keeps you motivated and moving forward. I believe that's the message. Talking about the way that we'll not get into controversies, but how China has eventually created some opportunity. There are three dimensions. One is imports happening to India, getting replaced by Indian product services. China itself not being manufacturing hub anymore, so those manufacturing units coming to India, and anything getting imported from China by others, India exporting it. So, what's your perspective about opportunities coming because of whatever has happened in China, back in India?
I personally feel that if it is borrowed, like, because China is at this stage on not so demand from a perspective. This is my own viewpoint, and we see that we have opportunity. Then we are a weak country. And sorry for saying this, but we will always be weak country because equations in the world keep changing, and businesses would also always go to places where they find it better, and better pricing, better offering, better structures. So on an immediate basis, they might look like, because there are political reasons and the whole demographics and sentiments are saying China is not good. But if if we produce marginalized products, which we always did. I mean, sorry for saying this, India, but we create sometimes marginalized product, and we're not able to create a high quality product. Then people would still go back, and maybe not China, maybe some other opportunities. So what we need to really understand is that we have such a large population. We have so many stomachs to fill. We have so many,
Brains with us, yeah.
We need to really create great products. That's not optional. Just because China is in this situation, we say we have opportunity. Answer is no. But if we create genuine effort to create world best products in this country, then I think the world is a market for us. We should not say, we should fight this head on with China or any other manufacturing country in the world or any other service company in the world, and say we are better. Indian products are better than anybody else. Then only you will have a long-term impact.
Wonderful, right. So two dimensions. I think I got two messages. One is don't compete, don't be opportunistic. It might be short-lived. The second dimension is compete with yourself. Always be better than what you were yesterday. I think these are two critical messages that are coming in. So now talking about any brand which is trying to enter India, pretty renowned brand, may not be naming them, but what is that brand looking at in India? So what are the kind of things that they find better that they want to enter India? Any kind of trend or characteristics?
And the only thing, one thing in India is our population, which is coming to advantage. And it will continue to advantage for next 30, 40, 50 years. We have more people and we will surpass everybody in the world. And this population would become richer. So which means that we will become the world's largest consumption market. So anything you produce, you cannot leave India outside. You would like to sell it. Toyota makes cars, they would like to sell it most in India. Everybody would like to look at this country from every consumption. Why Facebook is putting money at this hour in Jio? Because they know Jio is creating platform of consumption, and they want a share of that. So everybody is eyeing India, and this Reliance being raising money in the diversity at this moment from almost every world test. Clearly, it's independent because all data tells you need to really look at it. So this is where the opportunity would always be, and we have found every company which enters India comes from that perspective, and we need to really be making sure that our Indian entrepreneurs are competent and strong enough to create these great partnerships. I'm a big admirer of what Mukesh Bhai is doing, Mukesh Ambani is doing in his business. I mean, he's creating all the top partnerships within Jio. So I think that's something which we all business owners, entrepreneurs have to learn from a leader like him, because he sets direction for the entire industry. So we all also have to see that how can we learn and how can we bring these collaborations and relationships of equality. That's also very important because he's no less with Facebook. He's doing the relationships of equality. He's putting his terms and said, this is my terms. If you want Indian business, this is the way you need to do business with India.
Superb. I think that's very aptly put, where somebody like Facebook is entering, and that too with a solid partnership, equal partnership with somebody like Jio. And I'm so happy that you would have as a franchise in India, also share into that magic that is likely to happen.
Not at his level, but he has all his own. I think we all can benefit, but yeah, I have
absolutely right. Because he has hit, I think, the pulse where he's talking about Kirana stores. He's talking about small and medium businesses in manufacturing. So he has, I think, got the right pulse whenever he is positioning that. Taking it a little bit forward about the ecosystem that we have for entrepreneurs to do business, to start it, to sustain it, to grow it. Do you think it is becoming more conducive, more flexible? Startup India and all those initiatives. So do you think it is hitting the ground now, all these plans that we have?
Yes and no. From a mindset viewpoint, yes. From an infrastructure viewpoint, no. Mindset is come. So every home has one person who gets up and tells father that, look, I'm going to start my startup, which is a great mindset. Every college has kids who are thinking startup. So that mindset has come, which all credit to our leadership. And infrastructure we lack. We've really not got the infrastructure required for helping these startups to come. I think, and also we don't have, because the infrastructure was not there, we were not able to incubate a lot of these startups which came in the last 4 or 5 years. And so we don't have big stories. We had handful of stories. India would have produced million stories, right? So, but we have very handful of stories. And that's something which we all have to work through. And I also feel that it's over dependence on this regulation, government, and so on. So it should be a private initiative. And this is what I was been telling, that when everybody was saying, give me grant, what are you doing for our industry and things, nothing is going to come. They have bigger issues to handle. They're not going to handle issues for small businesses. And they can do a little bit here and there and tell banks to defer their loans and everything. But eventually businesses have to find and collaborate themselves and find their own answers. Any developing world, this would be the answer. I mean, it's not that they would just like a developed world sign a check of a couple of $1 trillion and say, go out, keep resting in your homes and so on and so forth. So this is what we have to do. And I think in startup also, a lot of people have to find their own way to really get to adapting, and a lot of private initiative has to come.
Wonderful. A little bit of a hatke question. Now, in this currently, slowly the businesses are limping back 30% capacities and all that, but there was no transaction at all from money as far as dollars, and there was no transaction in money terms apart from spending happening for most essential aspects. So I was just thinking about, what is the currency of the day? Is it goodwill that we are spreading? Is it something as new products, ideas that we are getting into? Is it something that we are making somebody feel good, somebody feeling happy about certain things? So what's the currency right now? If I tell it is not rupees, slowly it will come back. But this is something I was wondering. Maybe you want to throw some light on that, if not money.
Very very good question. I think one of the, I would say the biggest currency we got is the harmony. So this country was lacking a little bit of harmony. We got together as one mind, and there is a harmony being achieved in, at least I'm talking about India. A lot of other countries have other issues, and we were considerate to each other. We came at a belief system of this country, and what we are as a country. We're very patient. So a lot of these good things have come out, and I think these good things would prevail into good intentions, and intentions would go into good identifying good opportunities, and I'm not talking business, and then they would come into great ideas and so on and so forth. So I think this is a foundation of any good things to happen. We need to find our peace and our harmony. So I think that's what we my currency do.
Great. So harmony not only of the individual to start with, but also for the ecosystem around it. I think that's amazingly said. And moving forward, actually, there is a groundedness in the individual and businesses, and sense of gratitude of Mother Nature on the larger scale, where we want to give back. I think that's great to see. So, Gaurav, whenever I try to reach out to you, and we find you extremely busy as a busy person, and bless you with that busyness and business. But how do you keep yourself motivated every day morning, or what is that first thought that comes into your mind to keep yourself moving?
I honestly, I mean, I'll be lying if I make any special effort of it. I don't know how long it is with me, but even if I waste a couple of hours in the day, and not that by intention, but something happens and I'm not able to find myself productive and do 3-4 hours late, I feel a little guilty of something I've not done right. So it's, and I think everybody has that. We just spill it out, and like I work in my business, I'm busy in that. Somebody's somewhere else creative, and we all are busy. We all have very active, busy lives. We just name it. And if you're working for business or you're working for some company and you're working hard, then people would name you and say you are busy. But even if you are creative, when you're singing songs, I mean, I see friends of mine who are Facebook doing every day singing songs. You're also busy. So it's your own passion. What do you find to deploy your hours? We all are not. I mean, we all sleep only 6-7 hours or whatever that number is. After that, we are all active minds, and it depends on everybody. So you should not feel any guilt or
Mm.
other way around.
Right,
So
right,
whatever
right.
you want, whatever gives you satisfaction, your life satisfaction, keep doing that. And I somehow find it better in working in my business, so I just keep working.
Right, right. Yeah, it's said very nicely that work in itself is satisfaction. That drives itself. That's the passion. I think that's very well said. So coming to a little bit of closure, Gaurav, I would have continued for hours together. I know you're busy. You're looking at your watch, but any kind of a message that you want to give for people who are really looking up to some things that should happen, or something that they want to take up from inspiration
So
person like
I
you. Yeah.
first keep seeing Mr. Kulkarni's show, service together and connectivity. So that's one message. The second message I will give to everybody is we have this hold on period over. And we need, for the sake of our economy and for the sake of everybody's wealth, betterment, we need to create an environment of positivity. Pass positivity to everybody, encourage everybody to go and contribute in bringing back our economy on the table. If we collectively pass that message and everybody does his bit, the person goes to his office and works and puts more effort, he will help enterprises. Enterprises would work even harder to build more value, and the value would be passed to everybody else. So this is a time where we need to help each other to pass that positive message and bring our economy back on track, because this is a poor country. Let's be honest. We have severe problems if we don't address it now, and we all have to work hard. And people like us who have been little privileged, we need to do our responsibility. We cannot sit at homes and keep spending our savings. we need to do our responsibility to go out and do our hard work and bring our economy back.
Right. Maybe like create more jobs, create more opportunities, make sure that individuals get that kind of a share who are not having that share right now. I think that's great. Gaurav, wonderful to have an insightful discussion with you. I don't have words to thank you for the time and the insights that you shared, Gaurav. It was great.
Thank you very much. It's always great talking to you. You are a lovely man and a great human. So keep doing your good work, and my best wishes to you.
Thanks, and our best wishes to whatever you are envisaging. It is anyway the biggest, but maybe it is the biggest in the world. As Franchise India, you grow, and the brands that you touch, like Midas Touch, let them also grow exponentially. All the best.
Thank you. Really.
Thank you so much. Bye.
बिजनेस कोई भी हो, सक्सेस की नींव हम रखते हैं।
बुलंदियों को छूने की आपके अरमानों की उम्मीद जगाती जोत है, हर सपनों का हम स्रोत है।
सही स्ट्रेटेजी, परफेक्ट डिसीजन मेकिंग और बिजनेस ग्रोथ के लिए हम आपके साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर आपकी स्वप्न पूर्ति करते हैं। स्त्रोत कंसल्टेक, सिनर्जाइजिंग ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन।